So we were done with the introduction of respiration, and that we just saw a lot of things that it is breakdown of glucose. In plants, you will see the process which is photosynthesis. It's not in a human being. Why? Because we don't have chloroplasts. Whereas in plants, this one, in animals, we do take glucose from outside, like from environment, in our diet, and then this glucose help in the baking. In human, or not in human, but everywhere, you will see this glucose will break down to ATP, NADP, HNADP, H2, NADH2, and FADA, GTP, a lot of things. And we saw difference between respiration and breathing. This was done in presence of O2. This can be done in presence or absence, anything. Then we saw metabolism. We have two types of metabolism. This was we have two, which are catabolism and anabolism. Anabolism. This was the anabolism, which is production. Catabolism, which is breakdown. Catabolism, which is breakdown. And then we just saw we have two types of, like, when we done any work in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen. We have two types of respiration, then oxygen or absence. So then we'll see two types of, first is presence of O2, which is aerobic respiration. This is anaerobic, which means in the absence of O2. Okay, so everything could be divided to aerobic, anaerobic, whatever you do, and this is the aerobic example. Like when we run, we are like playing a game, we're doing racing, and that our oxygen is used in a high quantity. This means racing is done in the presence of O2. And when you do O2 exercises, a heavy exercise, then you need more glucose, more oxygen to inhale. So we have lactic acid. Because why? Every activity you do, lactic acid, which helps muscle not to work, because whenever you do one activity for several times, the lactic acid goes into the muscles, which does not allow to move. So that's why. Otherwise, in today's video, we are going through the glycolysis. Of course, yes. Otherwise, we were done a lot of basic things before in the respiration video and this all. So let's go with the glycolysis. Wherever you see the word lysis, means breakdown. So lysis here is breakdown. Here is gluco means glucose, but this is not only specifically glucose breakdown. It could be carbohydrate which is breakdown. It could be anything, but we just say glyco because the end product of glycolysis is pyruvate, 2-pyruvate, but I'm adding just pyruvate because the end product is pyruvate, and that end product is made from the glucose breakdown. That's why we just say this process known as glycolysis. Whereas this is not common, only breakdown of glucose is possible. That could be any. Then you will study one more thing here, that glycolysis, this is also known as EMP pathway. EMP pathway. So what are you thinking? What does this mean? This means like glycolysis process or glycolysis step was discovered by three scientists, and the three scientists named Amgen, Morf, and Perons. DC. So that's why we just call this as EMP pathway. And we will study one more thing. Like we know cellular respiration. Let me just move slide. Cellular respiration, which is of three types. Okay, first one is glycolysis, which is the first step of cellular respiration, which we are discussing. Then the second step is Krebs cycle, which is also known as citric cycle because the first product is citric. This Krebs cycle. The third step is ETC. So glycolysis process, which happens in the cytoplasm. This in the cytoplasm. This in the innermost line of the mitochondria.